Oh, let me see if turning on the slider will.
Oh yeah, see. No, turn that off. It's fine. No, it'll work.
Okay.
I figured that we would take advantage of the opportunity to answer questions that I've been getting. So we have our crumble cookies. Which crumble cookies do you have?
We do. I have semi-sweet chocolate, lemon cheesecake. What the heck is this one?
It's like iced oatmeal.
Iced oatmeal.
Here, I'll try that one first. In my opinion, crumble cookies are pretty mid. But like overall, some of them are super good, but their marketing is so good. Like it's just hard not to order.
So you want to like try all the flavors and stuff, yeah? It's,
Mm-hmm.
It's not like crazy, it's just...
That's a lot. That's too much. That's all you. It's time.
It's time.
Just like the... I just did it. The inhaling went like... Also, I straight up gave like Mom, I shitted myself this morning again.
Oh my God. You literally walked into my room and was like, could you look at my butt?
Like Kennedy's just coming into consciousness. I'm like,
I was just shuffling with my bonnet. I'm like, where is it?
I was like, I'm scared. Mom, I threw up. And I'm like whispering and like,
She's standing like you emoji, but fully naked, just standing there.
I stress about like if the tiniest thing pops up, I'm like, it's cancer. There's something on my leg too. I should have had you look at that. I see.
Does it also hurt?
I don't know.
Did you pop? Were you popping it like a pimple?
It's possible, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Your little star patch.
I know. It's coming through.
Did
I
you
have like two.
Did you sprout a new one?
It was one that was existing, but it was like dormant.
Oh.
It just popped out.
Kennedy got a body scrub yesterday.
I did. Full body skin replacement is what I got.
Skin replacement.
Transplant.
A skin transplant. I'm pretty sure they didn't give you new skin. I'm pretty sure they just took your skin.
Yeah. It's gone.
It's gone. I forgot to ask y'all what questions you want answered, so I asked at the last second. And y'all did an excellent job because
great question.
They were great questions, and a lot of them were repeaters, so I sifted through the repeaters, and we ended up getting 20 really solid questions. I feel like 20 is a good
That's
number.
perfect. Yeah.
Speaking of questions I've been getting, Amazon. Like, I open my closet, and it's just like a line of slippers. In my defense, though, you got me the Christmas
I
slippers.
did.
So
That's true. You have one excuse.
How'd y'all meet? I'll let you answer it, because I want to know how you would answer it.
I feel like the same way a lot of us in the community meet where it's
online.
just, yeah. It's just like DMs, like responding to like stories and stuff. Like I think we initially met like either Alyssa had reached out like, hey, I have a store. This is Alyssa's version of the story is like, Alyssa was like, hey, I have a store, whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe sometime in the future, like I'm busy right now. And then I came back to Alyssa and was like, hey, is the offer still open? Da, 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 da.
She realized my worth.
Yeah. It was more just like I actually did then have the time to like think
I'm sure
about
that's what
things.
it was. I'm sure that's what it was. So Kennedy started her content creation journey before I did, like maybe like a year, 2. No, I don't think it was 2.
Not too young.
It was pretty early, but like Kennedy was like a year into her content creation journey. So I followed her when she was at literally like 5,000, 10,000 followers on Instagram. And I was like, oh, this is a cute little aesthetic. And I was like, this is the kind of vibe I'm going for the store that I want to make. Because I started my content creation journey wanting to do a store. So it was like a really cringy ass like beginner stage trying to figure out how I wanted to like brand myself in the beginning. And I was like, oh, I like Kennedy's style. You should do my animal, like I'll send you Animal Crossing because that was my first collection in my store. And then I don't even know after that. After that
it was like typical internet friendship of just like we're DMing and we're like responding to stories and like commenting on each other's stuff.
Well, I think the first time we met in person was at PAX.
Was it really? Was that the first time?
Yes. Mhm.
The first PAX.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And then we just like hang out at PAX.
Mhm.
And then
we just kept hanging out, and that was it.
Yeah. Also, that was what, 4 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
We met before I got married.
What?
Mhm. Like I wasn't even married when we met. I know.
Huh?
You did like in everyone's head. I've just always been
I
married.
know. Oh my god. That's wild.
Okay. Let's see. Must play games for people in the cozy chaos space. You answer that one first.
Should I do cozy and you do cozy chaos, or should we just do
Lame.
all cozy chaos?
I feel like for me, there's cozy, and then there's chaos, and then there's cozy chaos. So, for example,
Yeah, do one of each.
cozy. If I want to feel cozy, I go to Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, and like if the question is like must play games. So like these aren't gonna be like, you know, a game I've never heard before.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so these are must play, like, you know, you probably have heard of them, or definitely. So, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, those are, like, purely cozy, my go-to cozy games. Cozy chaos, I guess this one actually is kind of weird. Fall Guys.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Fall Guys is, like, one of my cozy chaos games. Like, I love getting super cozy and just, like, raging to Fall Guys with my mom and my sister and playing Fall Guys. And then there's Chaos, Valorant. I was gonna say Lethal Company, but we kind of make Lethal Company kind of like.
It's a little bit cozy chaos, yeah.
But I'd say like the go-to cozy chaos games, purely like if you're getting into the cozy chaos space, Zelda and Skyrim.
I could see that. That's true. Yeah. That makes sense.
But you haven't played Skyrim, right?
Yeah, I played a little bit of Skyrim, but I never got super into it.
You don't care about it?
No, I like it. It was just one of those where it was like so expansive. Like I felt like it was so much that I just never had.
But you like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. But like the timing was perfect for Breath of the Wild, where I was like, I just can dive into this for hours and hours, and I just never had that with Skyrim. Yeah.
But yeah, like Skyrim, it's like, oh, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna chase butterflies, build a house and a family? Am I gonna chop a man's head off today and steal his dog? I don't know. Kennedy tried Valorant and just is like, it's too much.
It's the competitive, like, it's the competitive. Because that stresses me out too much, because I actually am pretty competitive. So then, like, if I'm not automatically good at something, I'm, like, mad.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's like you feel that you could be good, but you're not there yet. You just want to be there.
Yeah,
See,
and then I'm just, like, upset, and I'm like, I don't want to play.
See, that's why I don't like certain crafts and cooking and stuff. I don't like skills where I need to, like, where I want to, like, do the best that I can right away.
Yeah.
And
I feel that.
And it's a toxic, like, I'm not saying that's a good mindset.
Perfectionism.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, cozy. I think I agree with you. Stardew, Animal Crossing, but let me try and give some different answers.
Are you giving your favorites, or are you giving like must plays? Okay.
I feel like Sims. Sims can be cozy chaos, but for me, I play it cozily. So Sims is definitely a must.
That's what's so good about Sims. It is what you make it.
Yeah. Maybe Paleo.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
I got over Paleo.
So did I, but I feel like since it's free and like on basically every platform, like I feel like it's a good must play. Like at least try it. It's a good must try. And then for cozy chaos,
Lethal Company.
I like Overcooked. I like Moving Out. I like the ones
Moving
where
Out's
like,
good.
Yeah, kind of like multiplayer.
Overcooked.
Yeah. I feel like Luigi's Mansion is kind of like that. That's a good one. And then for pure chaos.
Ooh, what first-person shooter games do you play?
I mean, I grew up on like first-person shooters.
You
like,
did?
Yeah, like Halo and stuff. Like,
oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Like the old Star Wars games and like Halo, like those were the ones I always played with my brother. And like GTA and stuff.
The Lego games, cozy chaos. The Lego games, like not Lego Fortnite. And, you know, I'm talking like Lego Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say Halo. Halo's probably my go-to.
Really? That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that you played that.
Yeah. And I think it just has such a good campaign. But it's got a good, like, storyline, and you can play it with multiple... I like storylines that you can play with multiple people. Like, not just, like, a solo storyline, you know?
Yeah. I only played Halo, like, super briefly, so I don't actually know enough about it.
I feel like you'd really like it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, Bug Snacks for Cozy Chaos.
It just looks like Muppets.
You just have to try it. You just gotta try it.
She's been bugging me to try Bug Snacks for, I was gonna say years. It's been 84 years.
I've never tried it, not once.
So the next question is, ooh, I like these questions. That was Kennedy turning off her behind the scenes vlog. Morning and night skincare routine.
I don't have a night skincare routine.
What?
I just go to sleep.
You don't like cleanse or anything?
What? I cannot do anything. At night, I literally just like fall into bed. I can't do anything. I have like no energy.
You don't feel like gross and like you have to cleanse? Do you sleep on a silk pillowcase?
Mm-hmm.
Do you wash it?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you wash it?
Like once a week.
Okay. Fine, then what's your morning routine?
Like a gentle cleanser. So I like the Crave matcha, like it's like a matcha hemp cleanser. That's like my go-to. Or the Youth to the People one. I forget what it was called. But
it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Either one of those, gentle, because otherwise
Kale, I think
get
it
too
is.
dry. Yes. Yes. And then I do a like kind of hydrating toner. So there's like this rice one, I forget what brand it is, but I just like slap it on my face. And then while it's still like wet, I'll do a little bit more moisture. So I have like this hydrating mist or like an Evian spray, I do a little bit more. And then I do a hyaluronic acid serum. And like either the Ordinary or just like any brand that has a hyaluronic acid serum. Do that while it's still wet so that it's locking in that moisture. And then I wait for that to like dry, and then I do the Ordinary moisturizer mixed with a Biossance oil, and I mix that, put it on, and then I do Black Girl sunscreen over that, and I think that is it. Yeah.
My morning routine is basically the same, but now that I moved to Denver, my skin is extra dry. Like my skin used to be so dewy and perfect when I lived in Seattle, so now I need to like pay extra attention to my skin, hydration wise, now that I moved to Denver. So slugging is super important. Have you done that? No, you haven't, because you don't have a night routine.
I've heard of it. I haven't done it.
Okay, so you get your serum that you need. Like I use niacinamide at night to help with my acne scarring, and then you put a healing ointment on over it. So I use like this giant CeraVe healing ointment that I bought, and then you like slather it on your face, but you don't do it too often, otherwise it clogs your pores. I do that like once a week, and then also once a week I do, I guess this is my night routine now. Once a week I do an exfoliating night treatment from Glow Recipe. And I wake up and my skin is literally like so glowy in the morning, which is why you need a skincare routine.
Yeah. I wake up, mine's like cracking.
Oh, like there are literally night creams for this. Anyway, yes, so lots of water in Colorado. I have a humidifier in my room to help. That helps a shit ton. Like it gives me all the moisture that I need, locks it in, I slug, and then I sleep on a silk pillowcase, and once a week for the slugging. And then in the morning, my CeraVe hydrating cleanser, and then I do the hyaluronic acid serum from Glow Recipe, because it also has niacinamide in it as well. And then I use my Sunkissed, I think they're called, like bronzing and glow drops from Drunk Elephant, and that's how I get like the cute little glowy look for streams, so that I'm not like dead. If you could make your own video game, what would it be?
It would be,
I don't know what it.
I know for sure. Okay, it would be like Lake. Like, you know, like the mail delivery, you're driving around in a small town, it's really cutesy, and you just have like a simple job. It's like 2 weeks of mail delivery. So it'd be like Lake, but instead you have like this small town that you're in, and you can choose like multiple jobs to do, and it's just like hyper realistic. You can like walk into stores and like buy groceries, and you can just like talk to.
So it's this, you want like Sims,
like
but more
Life Sim,
realistic.
but more like structured.
Okay.
So like there's like
Yeah.
specific villagers, kind of like Stardew. Like there's specific villagers you like know and get to know. You can like romance
Aw,
certain ones,
yeah.
right? Like you know the town really well.
Not like Sunhaven, where it's like
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. Then you can be
Yeah.
like a librarian or like a barista or like a mail deliverer. You can like choose between.
Man, I feel like I almost feel like I'd get too sucked into that.
Yeah, me too. Me
Like
too.
I almost feel like I would be living in that
I
game.
know.
And that's my only.
And there's like
concern.
seasons, and there's like a fall festival and stuff, like Gilmore Girls. Oh my god, that's all I want.
That's so cute. I mean, I didn't create this game, but Tales of the Shire is literally my ideal game. Like, at least how it is in my head right now, and I'm so hoping that it works out because I'm so tired of being let down.
How is it in your head?
Yeah. So, like, we barely know anything about Tales of the Shire. All we know is that it's coming out this year, and it's created by Weta Workshop, who did the costumes for the Peter Jackson series. And in my head, it's like almost like a simulation game, but hobbits. It's a Hobbit simulation game, and it's like the music is perfect. You can like go and get like different like little outfits. You can go to the pub and like hang out with your friends and like order food. You can cook there, and like if it was even like an MMO of some sort, so like you can meet up with your, I'm gonna cry. Like if you could meet up with your friends and Lord of the
That sounds really fun.
I want to be able to explore and like have
same.
free range to
Exploring it.
We're both like, yeah. No, I want that too. Ugh, that game sounds so good though. Like a Stardew IRO more so situation. Okay. Does Kennedy have the drive to be a business owner too?
No.
So next question. No, I'm just kidding. What gives you the drive, Alyssa, and what does it take? It's like waning right now.
Is it really waning? It's widowy?
It's widowy waning. First off, I'm a bossy, high maintenance bitch, so that works out. I'm such a perfectionist and I'm so particular that I feel like I was just destined to be my own boss because no one else like lived up to my expectations. Very few, like even Thomas knows this, but like very few times, few people, very rarely I'll be like, yes, you understand the vision. This is exactly my vision, you get it. But like no one else understands exactly what I want, and so I have to take matters into my own hands, and so I just decided. It was literally like just a fuck it situation during COVID where I was like, you know what? All of these, I don't like any of this, I'm doing it myself. Like, it's not like I woke up as a kid and I was like, I'm gonna be a business owner when I grow up. I feel like you have to, like, be stubborn enough and have a little bit of that kind of, like, pushy side to you to be a business owner. And, like, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like Kennedy has, like, she definitely has drive, but as far as being a business owner goes, I feel like she's more content, like, giving her input into other people and their business, like, because there's so much back end, and I don't think Kennedy would enjoy the back end.
No, yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's too much.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, I'll be investor and advisor. Those are the roles I appreciate in stuff, but I'm just not somebody who, like, I put a lot of time into the things that I do, and I like spending my time there, and I would be upset if I had to spend my time on like back end stuff.
I feel like it's the same with Twitch too. Like people expect to go into content creation or Twitch, which is content creation, or a business thinking like, oh, I have good ideas, I'll just make a store. There's so much that goes into it, and I really like the challenge of figuring out like how to market for stores specifically. Like what gets people interested looking at products. How do I like get you guys to trust me and know that I'm being genuine instead of just being gimmicky, for lack of a better term. And like I really enjoyed that aspect of business. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. Like I get a lot of you guys requesting like, you know, Alyssa, you should add this to your store, and I'm like, okay, but there are colors involved, sizing, how fast does it ship to you, because I want you guys to have good shipping times. How much are you buying it for? How much am I buying it for? It takes a very neurospicy brain, a very specific neurospicy brain to be able to keep track of all of it.
True.
And I think we've learned, Kennedy and I, that we're neurospicy, but in very different ways.
Yeah.
I feel like Kennedy would almost get too overwhelmed.
Yeah. It's like too much. Like the things that I'm good at are like juggling like a bunch of different things and like jumping from one thing to the other, and then having like freedom to jump into what I'm choosing to jump into. Like when I like have to sit down and do like hours of admin, it's like the worst day of my life. Like some days I'll just like randomly be like, oh, I'm in admin mode, and I'll do 5 hours of admin, and I'm like, amazing, that was productive, now I could jump into something else. But like having to like sit down and do a specific thing is like my biggest enemy. Like, that's the worst thing.
I get that.
And so, yeah, like, again, just different levels of, like, spicy brain.
So opening an in-person cozy gaming store.
Mm.
So let's start with you then. What would that look like for you? Like, what would you want?
Like, what would I want in this hypothetical store?
In a cozy, in a cozy store, not necessarily just gaming.
Yeah. I would want, like, coffee shop, like, drink snack element.
Like themed or like just...
It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
Just like a little, you can get a little snacky snack, a little drink.
Yeah. Walk around and shop with it.
Mm-hmm. Like, cozy, like, environment so that you actually feel like you can go down and, like, or go over and be just, like, cozy by yourself. And,
like little nooks for working.
Having little nooks for working or just, like, reading. But, like, just a little area. That's, like, a nice little area to have. I think events would be fun. I'm not, like, a huge event person, but I think they would be fun. Like, a craft night or, like, you know, like, perler bead night.
You bring in, like, professionals, too, to, like, teach you how to...
Yeah.
Like, maybe even, like, a pottery night. Like, a simple
pottery,
little...
like, paint and stuff, like, things like that.
Like, learning different hobbies aside from just, like, technology.
Yeah. And then maybe, like...
Chess.
Similar thing. Yeah. Similar thing of, like, having, like, beginner D&D sessions and, like, things like that, where it's, like, specifically for specific groups of people that, like, don't usually feel comfortable in, like, maybe D&D spaces or, you know, geeky spaces. Definitely, like little trinkets and doodads.
I was about to say, just, like, little, like,
cutesy
fun little supporting, like, other small businesses, too. See, like, and that's what I would want to do for, like, my store Threads and Thistles inventory. It would be, my products kind of scattered throughout the boutique. And I would also have sections supporting, like, other small businesses where you can shop other small businesses. And there would be, like, a little coffee station, a coffee shop that Thomas would be in charge of course. So Thomas would be handling all the hiring and the equipment and whatever he needs to be doing. And you can walk around, drink your drink. We would have, like, I'm just, like, thinking about the tiniest details. This is what I go into. See, Thomas, okay, I'm about to rant now. Thomas doesn't understand this. I start with the dream process. Like, what is the vision? What do the labels look like on my coffee cups? This is what I do in the store all the time. Like, this is the vision, this is the goal. Like, oh my gosh, and then I have fun with the goal, because if it's not fun, then I'm not gonna, like, want to start. So Thomas would stop me and be like, but you need to think about that. I'm like, I'm not thinking
about that.
I'm not thinking anything right now. I'm thinking about how cute the coffee collars are gonna be on my mugs. Oh, but I could like use mugs that I sell.
Yes.
And then, like, it's like, oh, that's cute. I want to buy that.
I get that. Yeah.
You gotta think about that like promotion.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I just so happened to be wearing.
Speaking of, where's mine?
Where is yours?
I don't know.
You literally had it on. You took it off before the video.
I was like, I can't wear that one because it's smelly. I need a new one.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said that you stunk. The I forget, like, the names of my own products sometimes. This is Cozy Gaming PC in Kennedy and I's collection. It's a big embroidered design. And the other big embroidered design is the Cozy Hobbies shirt. You're doing the winter one?
Yeah.
Which one? Oh, I like that one.
I love this one. But now we're both green. That's okay.
That's fine. That's fine. I will let us match this one time. God, my God, we look like we're literally about to go into, like, J.C. Penney's and get, like,
and do the, like...
or, like, the I'm on the bottom and you're on the top. Well, now that we've officially colted up, this is Kennedy's wearing the Animal Crossing. It's, like, cute little minimalistic Animal Crossing trees with a little present floating.
So good.
He's just floating. Yeah. So yeah, I would love to have that. I want to have, like, a little room where you can, like, rent it out. And I do want to have, because you need to think about the kind of people who are in the cozy gaming space, or just the gaming space in general. People, and I'm like this too, there's, like, a mixture of, okay, I'm super low spoons. I want to go into my own little nook. To, like, study, play games, just, like, chill out, shop, whatever. And then, like, there might be, like, a common area to, like, for, like, easy icebreakers too, where you can, like, meet people to play games. Speed dating? Like, actual speed dating, or is this, like, a game?
No, speed dating nights.
Like, for Valentine's Day?
That would be so cute because so many gamers and geeky people are, like, introverts and they're like, I don't know.
The store will happen, and I know that it'll happen because I've already manifested it. It makes me feel good knowing that I have y'all's support, so I know that it'll do well. So it's just a matter of when and how. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. Finding motivation when motivation doesn't want to find you.
I think for me, it's like, I've learned to not work off of motivation, and I've learned to work off of like a practice of discipline, which sounds really stupid, but it's true. Like,
well, I mean, it's your job. You have to.
Like, I've like worked to have a like practice of consistency and discipline, and just like, this is what, yeah, it's part of your routine, exactly. So it's less like, I think trying to work or make content or create or anything based off of motivation is just like not the way to go, because like the question says, you're not gonna have motivation all the time. So making sure it's a practice so that you do it regardless of motivation is like my tip. And then when the motivation comes, it's like you do stuff on top of what you're already doing, which is perfect. Like the weeks where I'm like, oh my god, I'm so like excited and motivated because I'm feeling so creative. Like those are some of the times I do like even more work, or like even get even more done, more productivity, like get ahead of things, and that's kind of where the motivation comes from.
It's a matter of like giving yourself grace to understand that you're not always going to be motivated. Like, I mean, looking at people online, or even like watching Kennedy's videos or my videos, you know, you think that like it's a constant like passion and grind 24/7, and like we are passionate about what we do, and Kennedy's very passionate about like her vlogs and stuff, but that doesn't mean that it's still like at times like a draining energy. Like she's still, and like she's talked to me about this, like she's still so excited to like answer her comments and make the videos and talk to you guys, and like it's not that we're pretending when we're making these, but like, you know, we do, there, like she said, there is like a discipline involved where it's like, okay, sometimes you have to push yourself, but if it's too much, I feel like, well, I don't want to speak for Kennedy, but if she doesn't know this, she needs to know, because we both struggle with like not knowing when to stop. I've had to teach myself to like, okay, I am now seeing the signs of burnout, and so I've been really good at like, for instance, on Twitch lately, super recently, I've been good about like, hey guys, I'm taking the day off today, and like I've just been so nervous about like, but the consistency, because you hear online constantly. This is just my hot take, like my pet peeve. I'm so sick of seeing people online saying like, you gotta do this is how you get people to see you, this is the algorithm, you gotta post every day, you gotta, like, this is how you stay motivated, this is how you don't stop, this is how you keep going. Like I see that all the time, but like, you just stop. Like, it's okay to stop. It's not that anyone's going anywhere. And also what I've learned is like, there are going to be ups and downs. Like if you stop and your content even drops while you're stopping, that's okay.
It's okay, yeah.
It doesn't mean that your content's going to stay down, and it doesn't mean that you can't pick it back up. Like you have so much time, and that's something that I had to teach myself, is that there's always time to pick it back up.
Look at it neutrally as you're going, and then just like listen to yourself on like where you can meet yourself
and look farther ahead.
Yeah,
like at the goal. Don't look at like, because I mean, and we all struggle with this. I struggled with this. Like it's so hard to like see like, oh shit, there's a huge drop in my analytics, for instance, and to overanalyze that. Like, what did I do wrong? Because like then all of a sudden something goes viral if you have been posting, and then you're like, oh, I'm doing great. And then it goes back down, you're like, oh, I'm doing terrible. Oh, I'm doing great. You know, like,
imagine if you stopped every time you didn't do well.
If I'm feeling unmotivated, I will literally write down, like, what are the top 3 things that I can do today just to feel like it was, like, an accomplished day. Like, even if it's just making my bed and putting on, like, real pants, that's 2 things, you know? And then my 3rd thing maybe is, like, a work thing. And it's just, like, if I answer that one email that I've been ignoring today, and then I put pants on, that's a good day, you know? And then sometimes even if you just like motivate yourself to do that tiny step, like you're just like, okay, now I have pants on, then sometimes, not all the time, but I can feel motivated to be like, okay, now I can go outside for a walk, now I can go to the gym, you know? Like, and it's just like a little snowball effect.
So true. I also feel like I have like low energy days or weeks versus like high energy ones. Like I just check in with myself, and I'm like, okay, same thing. Like I know I only have the energy to do like my absolute requirements today. So if I have like submissions that I have to do, it's like, okay, all I'm doing is these submissions are like filming this, and then that's it. And if I can do stuff on top of that, sure, but like that's all I'm going to tell myself that I have to do, and that's all I'm gonna do.
It's really hard as a perfectionist to remind yourself that it's okay to just do the bare minimum, but I think that that's something to learn. Like, I feel like anyone who asks me that question is usually like a perfectionist like I am, and they're like, how can I be the best and make the most out of every day? You're not going to. But I think doing the bare minimum is okay, and sometimes doing nothing is okay.
Yeah.
Like,
you wouldn't have the energy to do the high energy days and the high motivation days if you didn't give yourself those moments. Otherwise, you're just gonna burn out and never have energy or motivation.
No. Exactly. What are your favorite games of all time?
Stardew Valley.
Really?
And Sims.
Wow. Zelda. It's Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is my favorite of all time. Like, I love Stardew Valley. In Stardew Valley, like, I, again, cannot emphasize this enough, bawled at the concert. Kennedy's like, like the whole time, it's gonna be okay. So I love Stardew Valley, but no, I think Zelda is just so special to me. And like, I'm so sad that I didn't play Zelda as a kid growing up. Like, everyone else played like Zelda and on the Xbox, GameCube, and like I got into it kind of late, but it definitely stuck with me the second I started. So that's Zelda for me. Are you into crochet, crafting, or art of any kind?
I feel like that's a question for you.
Oh. Well, okay. Did you just get into it just to try it, or have you always been into it?
Okay. Like some crafts and hobbies, like I just got into just to try it. And then like some have just always kind of been something I've tried or like dabbled in. Like knitting I've done since like college. Some other like random tinkery things I've done since like high school.
It's been so cool. It's been so much fun watching you like try all the. It's just. It's so cute. Like, you guys, let's color together. See, that's what we should do in the store too. It's just like little like color. Oh, like little cozy coloring books and everything. I've just never gotten into sewing and crocheting. It feels like it's the same feeling I get when I'm cooking. I want it to be done. Like, I want the final product. Like, it's one of those projects to me where it's like, you don't see it until it's finished. And I know the progress feels nice, but for me, like, it's not, like, there's no point in looking at it until it's done. Like, and
I totally get that.
You know what I mean? And with cooking, it's like you want the end result. Like with games for instance, like Stardew Valley and stuff, like the progress is fun and you're still exploring and doing different things. And you're seeing it. It's not just like a piece to the puzzle. I will say though, ironically, I do enjoy puzzles.
Yeah, but you're also seeing the tangible like.
Well, you could say that with knitting too.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a little bit more like, what is this? It's a piece of cloth versus puzzles. You're like watching the picture unfold.
Right.
Same with coloring, like you're kind of watching.
I like coloring.
Yeah.
I like coloring. I like puzzles. I love chess. So like I do try and find hobbies that I can do that is off technology if I can help it. Like everybody, including Kennedy, has been recommending audiobooks to me. And first off, see, I can't. Like, first off, like my comprehension skills, my audio comprehension skills, like I just can't. Like I would rather hold a book. I would rather play chess, not on my phone. Like with Thomas, we love to play chess.
You have to teach me chess because I forget. Like I used to know how to play.
You forgot.
I threw up.
I'm sorry. I'll teach you chess when we're in Denver. How did you guys come into your own cozy form? Did it stem from a game or a movie or a certain hobby? So, okay, what got you to start your content? Let's say that.
Yeah, what got me to start my content was just like rediscovering gaming as an adult. Like, I've always been a gamer, and it's just always, gaming's always been a part of my life since I was like a child. And then it was like in teenage and college years, it was just like Sims. And then I kind of like lost touch with it, or just like lost touch with like the variety of games that you can play. Law school was when I like finally, like the Switch had come out recently, and
Switch came out in like 2014.
No.
When did the Nintendo Switch come out? That was completely misspelled. 2017.
2017, yeah, that makes, so like, I think it had come out like Yeah, the year before I started law school. So
I
then,
didn't realize it was that late.
yeah, I like realized it was a thing and I was like, oh, maybe I should get that. Basically just like became reacquainted with gaming in law school because I was stressed and I was like, I don't have any hobbies, I'm not doing anything, and like I have nothing to wind down after the end of the day. And so got reacquainted with gaming, rediscovered my passions, and then was like, I want to share this with people and I want to like find community and talk about this with people. So that's why I started getting back to it. It wasn't cozy gaming at the time, it was just like casual gaming. And it was just like
Did you ever think about wanting to pursue content creation at that point, or did you just want to find people?
No, it was literally just like finding people. It was just Instagram, the smallest little community, and we all like most of us still like know each other.
That's
like,
when I got in on it too. Yeah.
It was just like us talking about games. Like Animal Crossing hadn't even come out. We were just talking about like
that's
all
when
the
I got in.
and it was so much fun. And yeah, it was never like a content creation thing. And I think from the start, I always like had my own like voice and like vision and style, and I think that just like solidified as I kept going in doing content because I like was finding the things that I liked and just like naturally gravitated towards that. So I think it was less like, oh, it was a certain game or a certain like hobby or a certain like whatever that like built my aesthetic and my like everything. It was more just like me coming into myself over time.
Anytime people see influencers in particular, like no matter like how big or small, like obviously Kennedy's a much bigger influencer than I am, but like no matter, like they want to know like how influencers got to where they are and like how like, oh, what did you do? Sometimes I'm just gonna say for me at least, sometimes it's just luck. Like I like we were just saying, because this is what reminded me of that, for my store, like there are now so many stores that are like a little bit similar to mine. Like they'll sell like different gaming products and it's just become more popularized, but I got into it so early. So like I became really well known for, you know, like, oh, Alyssa sells gaming products. During COVID, like more women were getting into gaming and I was one of the women who got in really early. So then everyone recognized me. I feel like I would have wanted to hear that when I started. I would want to hear like the reality of, yes, you do work hard, and I do think that anybody can do it, and anybody can be a content creator. Anybody can be an influencer, but there is hard work involved. But it is a little bit of luck too. Like sometimes it just sticks and the pieces fall into place.
It's that the saying is that like success is luck plus preparation, like where luck meets preparation or something like that.
I don't know.
And it's just like, yes, you have to, like basically you have to be like preparing and putting in work, but then like also luck comes in and like boosts you up, but it's not just luck and it's not just hard work. Sometimes it's usually both.
Well, it's both. I mean, and sometimes you just don't know what you have until you have it. Like I had no idea that Twitch was going to be such a big platform for me until I started. Well, Kennedy knew. Kennedy was yelling at me, but I had no idea that Twitch was going to be such a big deal for me and that it would like fit more my personality until I tried it. So it's also just like having that mindset of like being willing to try.
Say yes to everything.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Like try new things and like you just never know what's gonna stick, and not being afraid to fail too. Like I know that that's like a common thing to hear, but that one is true. Like you have to not be afraid to fail, and that you have to shoot your shot, and like you can't beat yourself up too much when you do fail, because like there's something out there for everybody, I think. So,
and you always learn from failure.
That too, all the time, and so and better for it on top of that. Like I thought that my business ended at one point because I did this puffle design, and it was like the puffle, and I just wasn't thinking. I was just excited to do Clip Penguin, and I had a video go viral. This was like super early on, so I was still learning about, you know, copyright and how I should go about designs in my store, and my video blew the fuck up on TikTok. Like it's still like one of my most popular videos, and this was like when I started my TikTok. And I was getting like, I made like $5,000 that day. Like that day, starting like, and I was like crying. It was huge for me. And then I got a cease and desist, and I had to refund thousands of dollars. Like some of them made it out. Yeah. So, but I had to refund thousands of dollars worth of sales that I've made, and like customers were mad because I had to cancel their orders, and I was like in tears. I thought that like my store was canceled and everything was over, and like so things like that happen too, where you have to keep in mind that like things feel like a really big deal online, but people blow over it so fast. Like, they just forget.
Yeah.
However, I do want to emphasize, if there are enough people yelling at you consistently,
there might be a reason, yeah.
You do need to, like, reflect a little bit. I do take a moment, like, okay, is the yelling, like, is what they're saying valid, or are they just yelling just to yell, you know? Yeah. We'll see how this one goes. I want Ken to tell a story of her most chaotic time, whatever that might be. I'm guessing it's with you. I don't think it was with me.
No. Probably when, like, it's gonna sound boring, but probably when I was, like, studying for the bar and, like, studying for the bar and streaming and, like, making YouTube videos and making all my, like, short form content. Like, that was probably the most chaotic. And I, like, kept doing that when I was working. So probably that was just, it's not, like, exciting or funny. It's just, like, that was insane. Like, I don't know how I was doing that.
Yeah, well, that counts.
Yeah.
You like this one. Your go-to morning drink and your go-to gaming drink.
Ooh, go-to morning drink. Yeah, it's like either a chai latte or like a hot tea. And then go-to gaming drink is probably like a LaCroix or like some kind of fun like poppy or something like that.
Fun coffee.
Poppy.
Oh, poppy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a poppy on the soda.
I don't like LaCroix. I don't like sparkling water. It just feels too zesty. It feels too like, why is it spicy? No, if I drink water, I add, I have my big water bottle and I fill it with my Cure hydration packs. I forget the brand that you use for your hydration packs. Salud. I use Cure Hydration. By the way, I'm an ambassador for them. You can help give me money. And also just use them because they're great. Cure Hydration. Pour that little packet in there. They have like so many different flavors. My go-to coffee is just super basic. Thomas has these, y'all know, like Thomas has this high-end espresso machine, and he's just a phenomenal coffee maker, and so he'll make me cold brew from scratch. He'll like, I don't know, he does all sorts of fancy shit with it. Like he'll put it in different bottles because it apparently like makes it better, and it like tastes stronger, and then he'll refrigerate it for me, so I like pull out the bottle of cold brew that Thomas makes for me. Oh. I know, right? Then I add my creamer, which is Natural Bliss almond creamer. It's my absolute favorite. Oh. It is so good. It just tastes like, it has like this very subtle like kind of like marshmallow. It's really good. And then I drink, I like Poppy too, but I drink Olipop as well. Also because I'm an ambassador for Olipop too, so. Poppy, I love you.
Poppy.
I was literally. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? The camera died twice. It was in the freezer the first time, so now we're on mobile. If y'all are like, why is Alyssa's camera just like flipping the fuck out right now? It's because I'm on like, that was like the 4th battery that I put into the camera. Where were we?
We're saying we're both low maintenance friends.
Yes, tips for maintaining a long distance friendship. You go, because what you were gonna say was basically what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like I feel like the key is making sure you are compatible friends to begin with, because I think it's hard to, like, if you guys have different levels of like
different love languages.
Yeah, different love languages and different needs and like capacities for what you can provide in a long distance relationship, it's just gonna be hard. Like, so it's one friend might require more than the other friend can give and whatever. So like finding kind of a friend who you might not have time for your friend that week, and that's like,
that's true. Yeah. I guess my point was like it's all like a love language based thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think you said this at lunch the other day. You were like, yeah, I don't have to talk to my friends for a while, and then we reach out and it's like no time has passed. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, for some people it's not like that, but for me it is. You know, like sometimes Kennedy and talk all the time, and then sometimes we just don't talk. Mm-hmm. Lately we have been just mostly because of the streams on Sunday too. So yeah.
Finding activities. I feel like
before
we didn't have a game that we liked playing together because I don't like Valorant. But then we found Lethal Company and we're like, oh, we both like
Lethal Company. Yeah. And all the mods.
There's
still so many mods that we haven't discovered yet. I'm also that type of friend where I just like, there are so many friends that I haven't, it feels like a lot of energy to have to reach out to all my friends, and it just feels like too much, and I feel terrible saying that, truthfully. But like there are friends I have where I talk to all the time, and then there are others where it's like whenever we do talk, no time has passed, and I still love them just as much as I did.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like you have like your best friends or your close friends, and then you have, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's just kind of the way it is, but I just feel like you can't take it personally.
You can't take it personally. Yeah, I've definitely had friends where they've taken it personally, and it's
me too.
There's nothing I can do about that, and like maybe our friendship just won't work if you like do take those things personally because I simply just don't have the capacity to provide that like reassurance.
Well, because if I was to respond to X friend all the time, not like an ex friend, sorry. If I was to respond to this friend all the time, then I would feel the need to respond to all my friends that I had a similar relationship with. And that's just so much, like I'm already overwhelmed just saying. It makes me feel bad, but I just like...
I don't feel bad.
I do.
I've just accepted that's who I am, and I don't feel bad because that's just the capacity that I have, and like, that's okay.
That's true.
It's just.
But like, if they were to reach out for me and to me and say like, oh, we're getting married or something, I'd be like so happy, and I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, exactly. But like, that's just who you are. You
that's true.
Feel bad about that. Can't
it like drags.
I just was praising it for not having it. God damn it.
You had the fucking audacity.
Just in disbelief.
I'm excited to look back and just see us. Or when we were sitting there and Ryan was bringing us cookies and he was like, there's 2 minutes left on the cookies and we were like, eh. Do you feel like you have a different presence offline than you do online? I've met people who do, like for instance, in the most respectful way. It's like hilarious. Like for instance, Mrs. Emily. I don't know if you'll agree with this, but like, and she'll crack up when she hears this. But like, online, she's very much like, what's your favorite cow? Which cow's the worst? What? She's so good at being like, she has such a good online presence, but in person, she's like, sup,
she's
man?
very chill, yeah.
What's up? What's going on? She just genuinely, she cares on and offline, but like, she just genuinely cares. But online, she's like, it's hilarious. I feel like Kennedy's extremely on brand. So for you,
I feel like it's more of like a different like energy than it is like different presence. Like I think
it's a comfortability. I mean, you're comfortable with different people, and like Thomas is my person. I'm obviously gonna like treat him differently than I treat anyone else.
Yeah. It also depends on like platform. Like I think like Twitch, I'm like at like more raw, but like YouTube or something like YouTube, it's like I am like kind of the more like put together version of yourself. Yeah. But then you have the
that's the vibe though. It's kind of like Pinterest.
Yeah.
I do still try and check in with myself and make sure like if I'm being too fake and I have to fake it too much, then there's no point, and I'm just gonna cancel. You know, like I don't want to give y'all like a completely fake version of who I am. But there are. I mean, it's still my job, and like
it's like when you go out to socialize when you don't want to.
Right.
And
exactly.
Then you're like, okay, I'm glad I came eventually, and like
exactly. Yes.
I will say a behind the scenes influencer thing is like, some of the comments I've gotten are like, basically insinuating that like what I do all day every day is just sitting around.
Oh my god, yes, thank you. And it's like, no, this is just the prettiest thing for you to.
Yeah, like,
do you want to come with me to the bathroom?
People assume that like because the videos that you create are so cozy, like you're creating these like little snapshots, which like the behind the scenes of it take like an hour to set up and like make sure everything's perfect and like get the cozy shots and whatever. Like there's all of this planning and work around this little cozy shot that
the
like,
thumbnail alone for the video, like
people are seeing this like cozy, you're just sitting reading a book in a chair and they're like, wow, I wish I could do that all day for work. And it's like I was doing that for like 10 minutes while I was filming it, and then like it was hours of like planning and all this stuff. And like that's not to say it's like, oh my gosh, like it's so hard to do that. It's just like time consuming. It's just like that's not what you're doing all
like
day.
We love that process,
but
it's still energy.
Yeah, it's just like any other like social media job. Like there's a bunch of people doing social media for like businesses and stuff, and like that's the job. Like we're basically doing the same thing. It's just like our own business.
Well, not to mention like just the thought process. Like people don't understand the thought process behind like, you know, we have this literally. Okay, here's a great example. I was like, hey, lower the camera because I want to be able to. I want it to seem like I'm talking to you guys. You know, like, okay, let's do this. Or like, this is what they look for. Like, here's the better lighting here because this is what I've noticed from comments. You know, like, we take so much feedback from you guys and we have to like think about all these elements together constantly. And it's so much energy.
Yeah, and
we love it, like, but
the editing aspects of it are like hours and hours and hours. And then like all of the just like, there's like 10 to 20% of my work is like still just regular desk job administrative stuff. It's like answering emails, writing shit, like it's all like doing back end business stuff, and like that's just regular desk job stuff, and so it's just so funny when people are like, I wish I could play games.
Or they think that we just play video games.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't.
Like, I actually don't even have that much time to play
No, I know,
video
exactly.
games,
Like,
so
I have this,
as much as I want to.
I have this, like, basically the same hours of, like, free time as everybody else, if not, like,
How ironic
less.
is that, actually?
Yeah.
We're video game influencers,
Yeah.
but, like, we don't have a shit ton of time
But
to
that's
play.
also our choice. Being a self-employed, like, creator, it's like the best job ever, and it's like,
It is.
we're so lucky to have this job because, like, we could just not do that. For a week, we could just, like, we don't have to do anything, and, like, that's the lucky.
No, you can love your job and be
Yeah.
exhausted at the same time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've had to check in with myself constantly. Like, if I'm not giving you guys at least 90% of my most authentic self, like, you know, and I'll be honest too. Like, I'll come on stream and be like, guys, it is a low spoons day. We're gonna keep the noise to a minimum. I think it's just good to be honest too. Like, I mean, I'll turn off, because I mean, my platform is Cozy Chaos, so I'll turn off some channel point redeems, and I'll say, you know, like, we're not doing this today. Not today. No
Yeah.
dolphin hat today.
I feel like there's a difference in, like, content creator and influencer, because I feel, and not, like, necessarily in the two words, but, like when people think of influencer, I feel like they think of the people that, like
Go to Italy.
Yeah, they, like, go to Italy and they, like, post their outfit in Italy, and then they're, like, able to, like, live off of that, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, their brand deals are, like, them going on a vacation, and, like, they have to do a lot of work too, but I think there's this difference of, like, when you're an influencer, your life is your job, versus, like, Alyssa and I and a lot of people in other niches of content creation, like, you have to create content to put out, and it's not just your life, you know what I mean? And so, like, we have to have an expertise, or, like, we have to have,
there's a look and there's a feel, there's a lot of thought that goes into it. It's not just,
yeah, and, like, there is for life, for people where they are their content, like, there's thought there too, but I think there's a different level of, like,
well, I feel
This
like
is different.
because you're in we're in the cozy space too, like, there is a certain look that we're going for too. Like, I feel like the kind of people you were talking about, like, just a minute ago, were, like, people who can easily, like, pick up their phone, just record and then go, because that's, like, kind of their vibe to just, like,
yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah.
like, for us, it's like, it's very,
Yeah.
there's also, like, a brand that we're, like, a color and a look and a brand that we're going for, which also takes extra energy.
And if we're like reviewing a game, or we're, like, reviewing a tech product, or, like, we're whatever, like, there's a lot of preparation that goes into that, because
and
we have to, like,
and
create content around a thing, versus, like, we're just like, this is my life and I'm doing my life as normal.
but
It's
we
just
love
a
it.
matter of fact.
And we love it. We do. We love it.
Love it.
And I think we're very lucky to have this as our job.
Yeah, agreed.
I think we're lucky, and I think we're lucky to be in this community.
Yes.
This community is great. We also need to make sure to constantly take care of each other in this community. Don't gatekeep. We're not going to be those people.
Yeah, don't.
Tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah. She told you.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. If
We're
you
not
thought about it, don't.
gatekeeping. You can have the cozy chaos
You
friend,
can-
and you can have the regular basic bitch. I'm just kidding. But
Where was that going?
I don't know. Just the
Anyone can be anything,
soft,
and it's fine.
yeah.
And you don't have, nothing has a definition that it has to be a certain way.
Except for cozy chaos.
Except because
That's a good definition.
Okay.
Thank you. But yes, it's.
thank you to yourself.
You said
That's a good definition. Thank you.
That's the first time I've ever heard you snort, like, ever. I didn't even notice. I heard a good point was being made. I thought it was an excellent point.
It was. It's a great label.
Last one is the last question.
All right.
We've sifted through them. Podcast when, and what would it be like?
Woo!
Woo!
Podcast in future.
Let's talk about, like, wow, the detail.
Yeah, we definitely want to, and, like, we both are, like, if we're gonna do a podcast, we're gonna do it with each other.
I feel like it would be fun to do a podcast with Kennedy because, like, I mean, you've already heard that, like, we don't agree on everything,
Mhm.
so that's what would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like our brains work the same, but we don't agree on.
But they don't. But they do. But they don't.
But they don't. It's a good pacing and, like, syncness
for the podcast, but like the content is interesting because we're not just like, yeah, I agree, yeah, say yeah, yeah.
Would it just be games, do you think, or would it be like skincare?
No, I think that could be everything.
Yeah. I would like open up a whole, like my business brain is like, ooh. Like I feel like that would open up like a whole new niche.
Yeah.
Too.
Because I feel like
it's like a lifestyle podcast.
Because I feel like it'll, like, the timeline for it in my head is like further in the future when like both of us have like fully solidified just like our own brands as people. Like we are recognizable solo brands as people, and like together we are bringing both like a combined community and our own communities together, and like people care about what we have to say as like individual people,
like bringing
and
both
then like
to,
you know what I mean. And so like having it just like
in our house in LA. Yeah,
basically.
All right, let me see if I missed anything. Because I kind of hopped around.
Did we want to do this one?
Oh, building confidence. You go. Okay, in what situation, and did you feel like not confident at the beginning of content creation? Let's talk about that. If you felt that way.
Honestly, I don't think I ever felt not confident.
I kind of didn't either.
I always felt like I could do better, and I knew I could do better.
Yes.
But I never felt not confident where I was at. Like my mindset was either like, I'll get there, I'll get to where I want to be, or it was like, what can I do right now to improve? But I always had this sense of like, I know what I'm bringing to the space, and I'm confident in that. And like I think that's also why I like never really looked to other people to like compare myself or anything. I just like never saw anyone as like competition, and not in a like
I do
dramatic like or not dramatic, what's it called, like not in a like boastful way,
sort of
or like in a
you want to be the best and only
it's not that I thought I was the best. So I was like, I didn't see anyone as competition. I just genuinely didn't see anyone else as competition because I knew what I had to offer, and like I knew that was always going to be my own personal thing, and like because I'm me and everyone else is them. So like even if like someone else is doing it, well, that has nothing to do with me because I'm doing what I'm doing, and that has nothing to do with anybody else.
See, I'm a little bit different. This is like that. This is our point.
Yeah.
For me, I also want people to, like, I want everybody to do well, and I want everybody to succeed, and I totally agree. Like, there are so many, like, everybody has their own unique personality, and I want that to shine through. That's why I help people with brand curation, too, because I just think it's so much fun to find, like, what is unique about that person and what makes them stand out. I do get really competitive, though. Like, if I feel like there's somebody, like, who's on, like, a similar level, whatever that level even means to me, or if there's... Like, you know, Kennedy, like, I have this, like, I'm like, I know that I can get where Kennedy is, like, deep down, I'm like, I know, and see,
but that doesn't have anything to do with me.
No, I know, but see, this is, like, Kennedy's so sweet about it, she's like, of course you can, and I'm like, I know, I
just said that.
I'm there, mentally, well, it's the same thing with, like, cooking, and I call it my baking the cake, because there's this story, and Thomas and I reference this a lot, and this actually applies to my confidence thing. So, every year I get fixated on a certain hobby for like presents that I want for Christmas and stuff. One year I really wanted to build cakes, and I actually was almost going to start my own cake making business. Like it was going to be like a whole thing because I worked with children on the spectrum, and I was going to like make I was gonna do a cake building class for like kids who like could use their hands to like make cakes, and it was a whole store idea that I had, business idea, before I even did this. Anyway, so I really wanted to, I've never made a cake in my life. I really wanted to make a cake. So like my family like got me all this stuff to make all these cakes. I was doing all this research, watching all these YouTube videos. I really wanted to like make the best cake that I could possibly make, like because I knew that like I have the skills to make the most gorgeous cake. And then the second I sat down, I never did it. I did it, like to this day I have never made the cake, but I look at other people and I'm like, I can do that. I can do that.
But I think that's like the raw confidence you need to have, and then you just need to find the thing that you actually care enough, which you have. Like you need to find the thing you actually care enough to like step over that threshold of like actually doing it.
It's just such a like for me it's like such a conflicting like achiever mindset
Mm-hmm.
versus like I'm just genuinely so happy for everyone at the same time. Like with Kennedy, when I see you, like it's like a combo of like you're genuinely like one of my good friends, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for Kennedy, and I'm like, I can hear that. And Kennedy's over here like, yay!
I think though, the I can do that mentality is good. Like, it's a good motivator, but I feel like it should be motivating in the way of like, I can do that too, versus like, I can do that. Why don't I have that? And I'm sad that this person has. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I think
yeah.
some
No,
people like actually hold themselves back by having it more of like a negative reaction versus a positive. Like, oh, I can do that. Like, I'm seeing her do it. That means there's a space for me to grow and do the same thing. Versus I think there's a lot of people that have this mindset of like, oh, she's getting everything I want, and like,
and you're
I
like
don't
mad
understand.
at her.
Yeah.
You just decided that you hate them.
Yeah, and like I
no.
can do that. Why can't I do that? But instead of like using it as a motivator in a positive way, it's insidious, and it kind of seeps in and becomes this like thing that ends up holding you back.
I always want to like support them, and I'm always so happy for them, but I think for me it also is like a stress thing, but I put it on myself. It's like I'm stressed about myself.
Yeah.
It's like and that's like a toxic thing that I'm actually working on. I'm not by any means saying that this is a good thing, but like I will see people online, and I know a lot of people are like this too, so maybe it's good that I'm saying this, but I'll see people online, and like the competitive side gets to me so badly, where I'm like, I'm happy for them genuinely, and I'm like, it's like a jealousy thing. But then I'm jealous because it's like, I know I can do that, and then I get stressed, and then it's like me talking to me in my head, where it's like, okay, Alyssa, what do you need to do to get there? Because you already know you can do it. So then why aren't you doing it now? Why aren't you there right now, Alyssa? You know, and it's like, okay, I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's such a toxic.
But it's the negative self-talk instead of positive self-talk, which I think is like, goes back to the original question, because we were both like, the question was like, how do you build confidence?
We're like, this is
like,
how
I am
completely-
confident. I just am confident. Building confidence is a thing that it is a skill, and like probably something I did when I was younger, and now I just have that fucking raw confidence. But like, it's totally just positive self-talk and positive like affirmations, and just like all of my thoughts that I think, if a negative one even like comes into my brain, I go like, and at this point
I can't do that.
But it's like a practice. I didn't used to do that, and now it's like it's automatic. Like, I used to have to do it like so consciously, where like I would think the negative thought, and I would be like, this is a negative thought, and I'm not.
But you don't have OCD though.
And no, that's true. And like, I have to reframe that thought, and then I like physically would in my head reframe that negative thought into a positive one. But over time, that becomes just like immediate. So now, like, basically the only thoughts I think are positive thoughts, and like I only have positive self-talk because I went through that process.
That's so good. I'm happy for you.
Building confidence is just building a practice of only positive self-talk over time. And obviously, there's times when that will. Like,
I've definitely, it's definitely different for me, because I do have OCD, and it has a really big hold on my life. Like I have learned how to do self-care and like meditate in my own way, which is huge. So self-care and meditation is huge, and like having people to support you. Are you words of affirmation oriented?
Not for myself.
See, okay.
Yeah.
So that's another one too. So for me, I have OCD, and I'm one of my love languages is words of affirmation. And so like if I have a negative thought, it is so hard to like I can't poof it out. Like that's just not. I can't even imagine. Like I've tried. With people with OCD, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but how my OCD works is like if a negative thought comes into my head, it doesn't, like, it's just kind of like another person yelling at you in your head, and it does not go away, and it just will sit there until like and then all of a sudden you forget what you're anxious about, and you just know that there's something there, so then you just turn it over, like I'm about to cry, and like you'll just and so then you just like turn it over and over. You're like, what am I upset about? And then you're mad that you're upset because you don't remember why you're upset, and then you just sit there, and then I have my compulsions, and everyone has their own compulsions, so that's obsessive compulsive disorder. So and then that's when I go to Thomas, and you go to your safe spaces, and I'm like, Thomas, I need to like talk this out. For me, it's like I talk it out whenever I don't feel confident, and that OCD for me hits me. Like I'll talk it out with Thomas or someone close. Sometimes it's Kennedy, sometimes it's Raleigh Thomas, whoever, and I'll be like, okay, here's my, like, friends where I know it's an irrational, like I did that with you on this trip. I was like, Kennedy, I have an irrational thought, can I talk it out? And she's like, yeah. But, like, sometimes I need an outside voice that is not my own to tell me, like, Alyssa, that's an irrational thought, and then I go, okay, cool. So I can just drop it, and then I drop it. So, but as far as, like, confidence and content creation and stuff, honestly, depending on how you take this phrase, and I'm saying this lightly, I'm a firm believer in the fake it till you make it mentality. Like,
absolutely.
I've always felt confident the same way that Kennedy has explained. I've always known my abilities. I've always known that I can make it, and whatever that means. But I have felt awkward, like many times I have felt awkward, especially in the beginning of my content creation. Like, I didn't know, but that's so normal. Like, I didn't know how to present myself. I didn't know how to talk like this to a camera.
True.
It took so, like, and I even remember your
earlier ones, oh my god, like, even my first YouTube videos, I'm like, you know, like, I'm trying to fake it, but, like, you can still tell I'm, like, a little bit uncomfortable.
Or just little things, like, I'll be like, why am I playing with my hair so much? Why am I doing this? Why did I, like, move a certain way? It takes so much time to learn how to, like, sit, how to talk, how to look at a camera and pretend it's a person.
Yeah.
If you're a micro influencer, like a baby influencer, or you're wanting to be an influencer, and if you're starting out, you should be starting off treating yourself as an influencer.
Absolutely.
Like, you are an influencer whenever you start. That's how you should be treating it. Like, you guys, I found this water bottle. Oh my god. No idea where the fuck it came from because it was from Kennedy's kitchen. Y'all need to go get it. Find Kennedy's house and go get this water bottle from Kennedy's kitchen right now. Like, you need to act like you're, like, drop it in the comments, you guys. Tell me what you, like, even if there's nobody watching you and you feel so awkward because you feel like you have, like, 2 followers and, like, no one's gonna comment.
Because you're projecting confidence and
Exactly.
authority. Like, authority not in, like, authority as in, like, I am the person who is, but, like, I am an authority on this topic type thing. And that's what people want when they're looking for people to follow. They want somebody who is, like, an authority on a certain topic.
Yeah, they do. Fake it till you make it. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in that. But again, if you need breaks,
that goes for work too.
That goes for everything.
Yeah.
If you need breaks, and if it's too much, then you take a break. Your patches are just, like, crinkled. It's time to take them off. It's time. But LA was fun, and I'm happy that I got to do a quickie little taste of what a podcast vibe would be like in LA. So maybe we'll do something like that again in Denver. Ooh, but in Denver we can do stuff with Thomas too.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And Headless Ryan.
And Headless Ryan.
We should just start calling him Headless Ryan.
Please.
Nearly Headless Ryan.
Nearly Headless, it's just his neck. Oh. Yes. Okay. So Nearly Headless Ryan and Thomas. Well, we'll get some, like, cute little videos of them cooking and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you guys. Bye. It's nap time. I'm gonna keep that.